Hey friends and mask fans, it's me, Jin, and I'm here to tell you the history of Licksore masks. Probably started in my freshman year of high school, Lincoln, in Denver, Colorado. I was very young, goth. I meet a really nerdy, kind of misfit kid named Matt. He has no friends, really sits alone and reads books about games because he plays a lot of video games. Everybody called him Spaz because he was just kind of spaz. He tried to be funny, tried to fit in, and it really wasn't his thing, but we let him hang out anyway. We used to go ditch, go to his house, smoke some pot. Every time we'd go to his house, we'd cut through the back alley to avoid cops and school security. And every time we would find all these masks, really screwed up, discarded masks in the alley, just thrown there like garbage. And of course nobody else really thought anything of it. You know, I was the goth kid and I was influencing everybody around me. I was teaching them all about bands like Slipknot and Mushroom Head, Marilyn Manson and stuff like that, because that's what I've been into for years. When I was really, really young, my favorite band was Kiss, so of course it's only a matter of time before I graduate to something heavier, like Slipknot. So we'd find all these masks. They were too trash to keep, but I thought it was cool to see them. I'd be like, dude, either fucking Mushroom Head lives on your block, or there's something else going on. One day, I met his next door neighbor. It's like, how could you be so clueless, kid? Your next door neighbor was making masks, and that guy was named Mike, and later on he would be called Mr. Zomboy. We were just walking one day, we were ditching, and instead of cutting through the alley, we were going through the front next to the street, and we were passing by Mike's house, and he saw me wearing a Slipknot shirt. He's like, dude, metal, come here, dude. And I was like, who the fuck is this creepy guy loading fucking boxes into his fucking van, big old unmarked van, and he's trying to call me over there. And I was like, that's a little spooky, but let's go, dude. You know, so he's like, Slipknot. I see on your shirt, you're like Slipknot. And he pulled out a Jim Root mask, and it was kind of half unpainted, didn't have any straps, it didn't have a zipper or anything, but I could recognize it. You know, that's why I tripped out. I was like, dude, you're the fucking mask guy. And so I get my first mask, and after that, you know, we go back to Matt's house and we're smoking. He's like, oh yeah, that guy makes masks. You know, he gave me a mask a long time ago. And I was like, yeah, what? He's like, I don't know what it is, but you could have it if you want to. I'm not doing anything with it. So he fucking digs in his closet. He was a really messy kid. So he digs in his closet, and at the very bottom is an unpainted Corey, Iowa mask. And it doesn't have any dreadlocks, no paint, nothing on it. And so he gives it to me, and I'm like, dude, we've been friends this whole time. What have I been teaching you if you don't even know Corey Taylor of Slipknot, you know? And so after that, he's like, dude, this is my mask, you gotta let me keep it, because then he wants to be cool. He's like, yeah, of course, Slipknot, this is my mask. But it's too late. Kind of fucking sock him in his pussy and take the mask. And I go home, and my family, they're like, what the hell have you been doing? Your teacher's called, you're ditching. And I was like, that's not important. And I showed him the mask, and I was like, this is my future. This is what I'm going to be doing. This mask right here, it's going to make me money. Of course, they didn't believe it. They were like, shut up, go to your room. Take your floppy piece of rubber with you. You know. After that, I met Mike's friend Chris, who was his business partner at the time. They ran a company called No Face Masks. No-face. Because if you went to noface.com, I think that's porno. So it was kind of funny trying to advertise for that company. It's like, hey dude, I work at No Face. And if I forget to tell people about the dash, I would see them later and they'd be like, "You're sick. Is that what you're doing with your time? You're making internet porno?" They give me a chance. My first attempt to sculpt is Pinhead, and it totally sucks. He's all fat and squinchy-eyed. He kind of looks like the new actor that's playing Pinhead in the new movie. You know, total failure. They're like, "Don't do that. You can't sculpt anymore. You're good at drawing, but lay off the sculpting, and you can't even paint either." They don't want me to paint. So I started drawing a comic book for them, and since the company is called No Face, I kind of think of a mascot called No Face, and he has no face, obviously. This guy, that's what No Face looks like. This is a re-sculpt. This is my latest version. I probably make about 5 comic books, 10 pages each. Just kind of my own story. Has nothing to do with the masks, besides the namesake. And so one day they're like, sculpt that mask. We're gonna give you another chance if you sculpt this mask. And by that time, my friend Mark, who later becomes Silo, and then later is also known as Cyst, he comes up and he's helping with the sculpt. He would like to take full credit for it, but of course it was a comic book. Long before he even knew that I was making masks, he helps with it, and to this day will claim that it is his mask. You see this guy anywhere but from me, fuck him. It was way too late. By the time we finished the sculpt, Mike and Chris were splitting up their company. They didn't want to work together anymore. And we had a really cool mask. We had all these molds and a mentor, but we had nothing to really do with it. So we decided to make our own thing. Chris kind of left, and so it was me, Mike, and Silo, and we made our own company called Zomboy Masks. Silo got a girlfriend, and for about 4.5 years he did his own thing. He was pussy whipped, and we couldn't get him to do anything if it wasn't for himself and for his girlfriend. And probably, when they broke up, we got back together. We started making masks together again. We changed the name of the No Face to Zomboy. So everybody after that kind of knew him as Zomboy. And now I changed the name again to Licksore. You know, it's my company name, and it's my mask. Of course, me and Mark sculpted another one together in what year was that? Maybe it was 2009. We did an updated version, and we had our own fan club and stuff. All I want, girl, I gotta get my hands on you. You're everything I need, you're all that I see. You're everything I need, always in my dreams. Everything's gonna be alright. And we started the Zomboy Army. We're working together again, probably 2 years, and then he gets another girlfriend, and it goes to his head. I don't know why it goes to that guy's head, but he kicks me out and replaces me with his girlfriend. I was the talent all along, and I don't want to talk shit, but he's still coasting on my talent. I'm back with Licksore Mouse. I'm doing my own thing solo.